I say the first revolution happened around 1784 when they invented the steam engine, right? What about the second industrial revolution? Okay, to make it easy for you, the second revolution happened 100 years later, around 1870. They invented something which changed the face of the industry. Even to this day, even in this class, we are using that. What is it? No, phone was much later. Something that we are using today. Aha! Electricity. So they invented electricity around 1870. And you can imagine how the industry was revolutionized by the invention of electricity. Isn't electricity important? It is. That's why you guys become sad when there's load shedding. You know, I was in Rwanda twice last year, right? So I got into a hotel and then I say to them, "What time is load shedding?"
What is load shedding?
They say to me, "Huh? What are you saying?" I say, "Don't you know that electricity comes and goes?" Then they say, "Do you mean fault?" Which means there's no load shedding there. Not yet. So it was foreign. It was foreign to them. So they invented electricity, right? Now, the third revolution happened when? The third industrial revolution happened when? From the 1950s, 60s, going up. What did they invent which changed the face of the industry? I'm using that thing now. The computer. The first computer was as big as this room. But it took people like Steve Jobs to reduce it to a desktop. And now we've got smaller and smaller computers. But by the way, I'm not saying the computer was the only thing which was invented. No, but it was the major breakthrough. Phones came around that era as well, both wired and wireless communication, right? But the major breakthrough was the computer. And also internet came at some point in that revolution. Where we are now in the fourth industrial revolution. And I want you to explain that. You can explain it as the advent of cyber systems, but I don't want to give you that definition. I want to give you the simplest definition that you will never forget. So you can write this down and you won't forget it. So I won't give you a technical definition. In fact, in 2013 at the World Economic Forum in Davos, the president of that forum spoke about it, that we have entered now the fourth industrial revolution. So you can explain it this way. You can say it is the blurring of lines between humans and machines. That's it. The disappearing of lines between humans and machines. The disappearance of demarcations between humans and machines. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no demarcations anymore. Machines and human beings, they're becoming one. This is where we are. This is where we are. They've come up with machines that can do exactly what a human being can do. One of my brothers is a doctor. He was telling me that in the surgery now, they have robots that can perform human surgery operation with precision. And he was telling me it's much better than a human being, because a human being at times we forget things in the stomach. Maybe you're performing surgery in the stomach, you forget a scissors or a needle. But this one does it with complete precision. Do you see that? Now, this revolution has got what we call pillars of this revolution. And I want you to write some of these down. So here are the pillars. Number one, robotics. Number one is what? Robotics. That's the number one pillar of this revolution. Robotics. Did you see what Elon Musk has done? He has come up with a robot wife. Yeah, a woman, yeah. A robot wife. You guys have got serious competition now. Because this wife does not have drama. No, she's very loyal. Whatever I say goes. No arguments. He doesn't ask me where I am. All right.
There's something that
You need the drama.
She says there's always something missing. All right. A robot wife. Have you seen that? So robotics is number one. Number two, which is the DNA of the fourth industrial revolution, artificial intelligence. Number two is what? Artificial intelligence. You guys have said it's been a long time since you went to the bank, right? You do everything via your application, right? What the technology behind that is artificial intelligence. Do you see that? Number three, we have what we call big data. Is it called data or data? They laughed at me. They laughed at me in Cape Town when I said data. They don't get it. It's called data. Big
data
data.
is American. Data is
Data is what?
South Africa.
South Africa. All right. So this is where we are. I was talking to a friend in China, and he was telling me, Gabriel, do you know why crime is very low in China? He said, do you know that at any given time, there are 4 cameras looking at one person, wherever you're walking. Yeah, 4 cameras are looking at you. It doesn't matter where, they have got cameras everywhere. If you steal, for instance, they already have your data. If you steal, they can pick it up on the camera, and they've got face recognition. They can see, oh, it's Gabriel who stole. Before you even go where you are, the police will call you. Gabriel, ID number, this and that, you have stolen this. Bring back what you have. They have data on everyone.
Wow.
And you guys, do you realize that your data is also not very private? Because you give it away each time you, for instance, you guys are on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
When you open TikTok, what did they ask you? What did you enter? Your date of birth, your everything, your information, right? This is why Facebook was fined billions of dollars by the European Union, I think, for selling this private data to the American government. There's nothing private about you. Don't you all guys have cards, bank cards? If they want to, let's say you commit a crime, they want to trace you, they just look at where did you swipe. Oh, this one swiped in Soweto. So they begin to zero in and find out where you are. Even here. I have a colleague who was kidnapped last year. I don't know if you know do you know a facility called Atwell? Atwell. He's a friend of mine. Yeah, he told me that he was kidnapped. What happened was he got into an Uber, and all of a sudden the Uber stopped, and then there are criminals who got in, and then they began to force him to withdraw money. So the bank would call him. Are you the one who's increasing the limits? The guns were all over his place, and he kept on saying yes, and they stole from him. Do you see? So number 3, you also have, I spoke about big data, right? Number 3, you have what is called blockchain technology. Blockchain technology. Do you have anyone here who's in Bitcoin? Anybody who understands Bitcoin? The technology that Bitcoin uses is called what? Bitcoin. Blockchain technology. There is also virtual reality. That's another one. Virtual reality. Virtual reality. Huh? No sound. Okay, just a moment. Virtual reality. Virtual reality. Right? There's also what is called human augmentation. Human what? Augmentation. Human augmentation. Another pillar is also 5G technology. 5G technology. Another pillar also is 3D printing. Is what? 3D printing. In the past, let's say you're driving an American vehicle, let's say it's a Jeep, If it breaks down, we're supposed to wait for them to ship the part to South Africa. But right now, they can print that part here with its exact dimensions. What is that? 3D printing. 3D printing. This is where we are. This is where we are. Do you see that? But what do you feel about this revolution? What do you feel? What are the threats? What are the opportunities? She says some of the jobs are already being replaced. 2 years ago, the sector that retrenched most people was the banking sector. Because everything now is now being done through artificial intelligence. So they do not need as many branches, they do not need as many human interactions.
And a lot of information is being compromised with this.
Yes. Toyota, I understand Toyota is also fully operated by robots. Human interaction is at the end. Do you see? But in terms of production, there are someone, I saw a coffee shop in London which is being fully operated by what? Robots. Which means a human being has been taken out.
Look at McDonald's.
McDonald's. Same thing. Do you see that? So some jobs are going to be, let me use this word, remodeled. But there are also going to be some opportunities that are coming with this revolution. We have seen them already. There are some jobs that were not there 10 years ago or 5 years ago. We're speaking about podcasting. It's a profession now. How many people are employed by Mark G on his podcast? He always mentioned there are more than 30 people employed, fully employed on the podcast. That profession was not there before. Do you see? So those professions that are under threats are those professions that can be automated, things that can be automated. You see, but I still feel you guys are still safe because you find out that me being a customer, I hate speaking to a robot. I would love to speak to what? Yeah, because it's scripted, everything is scripted. Do you see? They haven't found a way of really, automating what you guys can do.
Like
But
the WhatsApp here at work, I feel like
the WhatsApp here
it's
is
frustrating customers.
frustrating because it does not answer.
How can I assist you? Every time you put in something, how can I assist you?
Yeah,
Or
so
I
it's
will
still
do it,
lagging behind.
Yeah.
Did you see the Neuralink that Elon Musk has come up with now? Neuralink. I don't know if you guys are following. The Neuralink is it's a device that is going to be implanted inside of a human being. It's very small, very, very small, the fraction of the size of your hair. And it's going to connect you to your device. They've tested it last month and it worked. So for instance, what it does is if I want to send a message to you, I don't have to type on my phone. I only have to think about it. My phone, because it's connected to me, it automatically type and send message.
That's too much information.
So I saw them testing it on somebody who's disabled, who doesn't have arms. And what happened was, because this person does not have arms, he was managing to control the mouse of his computer using his mind. So this happened 3 weeks back.
Even if I say delete, it will delete.
I don't know how it works, but this is where it is. It is where we are. This is where we are.
Something in
Yeah. So if you look at the positives, there are some people who probably are disabled. Maybe this leg does not work. All of a sudden, when they put those things, the legs become, it works. So if you look at medicine, it's been positives. What do you think are the negatives? Because it means, because we are connected, malfunction. If it malfunctions, imagine it malfunctions, it wipes out your memory. You don't know your husband anymore, or you don't know your kids anymore. So this is where we are. So the Neuralink, I saw that one, and it's coming right away. And what we have learned with all revolutions is you cannot resist a revolution as long as it's here. The best thing that you can do is to try and find ways of fitting in this revolution. Otherwise, you'll be left behind. My other fear is that because we are all going to be interconnected, right? You can be controlled centrally. What if they decide just to shut you down from a central point?
Imagine hacked. Your husband hacks you to see
What's inside? Your husband hacks you
Just to see what you're thinking.
to see what you are thinking.
I don't think it would be husbands. Mostly wives.
Wives. Yeah, it's wives. I agree with
What are
you.
you thinking? He's
It's
thinking
the
of
wives
her,
who are always
okay?
poking into your business. They want to see who's my competition, what has this one been up to. You know, I do agree. So it's both exciting, but at the same time, it's a bit scary. It's a bit scary. It's exciting, but at the same time, it's a bit scary. But this is where we are. We are now in the fourth revolution, and you find out that 4.0, you find out that we also have to adapt in terms of how we are marketing, how we are engaging our clients, because this is where the world is going. If we don't evolve, we're going to be left behind, like those companies we mentioned, BlackBerry, Nokia, Kodak. You know, those companies, they went extinct because they could not self-evolve in terms of engaging new products and also new clients. So this is where we are. Some hotels are beginning to introduce robots also.